Students, today we are going to see about 8051 architecture. So the 8051 controller is designed by Intel in 1980s by Intel, and it was founded on architecture of hardware architecture, and it is mainly developed to bring into a play of embedded system. So let us see about the 8051 microprocessor in detail. So the microcontroller or the processor chips, they generally have a memory and input ports and output ports with chip itself. So what to say, it is one kind of an integrated circuit that has 40 pins and RAM, ROM, and two 16-bit timers. It included an address and programmable of 4 to 8-bit ports. Okay, these are the main features of 8051 microcontroller, and the main features of the 8051 controller is it is an 8-bit CPU, two registers A and B, and it has an 8 bytes of internal ROM and 256 bytes of internal RAM, and it has two interrupts like external 2 and internal 3 interrupts. It has an oscillator and clock circuits, and it has a control registers like TCON, SCON, TMOD, TCON, and IE and IP. Let us see about these things in detail. Okay, so therefore this is also said to be a single chip computers, and it is mainly used in machine control application, and whereas in many embedded system applications we use 8051 microcontroller. These are the few examples where microcontrollers have been used, that is computer, printers, fax machines, Xerox machines, such as electronic instruments such as oscillator, multimeter, etc. Next, let us see the major difference between a microprocessor and a microcontroller. So microcontroller is comparatively faster because of reduced external memory, and these are the example of microcontrollers. Here we are going to see in detail about 8051, and this is an 8-bit and 15-bit configuration, whereas your 8051 is an 8-bit configuration. And so these are the various architectures of microcontroller, whereas you have 8031, 8051, 8751, 8252, and 8752. Whereas in this unit we are going to see about 8051 architecture. So these are the main features of 8051 architecture, where you have an 8-bit CPU and 120 bytes of RAM and 4 kilobytes chip on the program memory, and 4 ports of each 8-bit, and two 16-bit timers, and one clock oscillator, and two full duplex serial port. So these are the main features of your 8051 architecture. So this is the block diagram of an architecture, where you have a CPU. So in your CPU you have it is a processing machine, so it processes all the instruction or all the information given to it, and it traps the program printer in the storage space, that is ROM, carried out all of them, and does not projected duty. So next is the main thing is your memory. So the microcontroller also needs memory to access data and operands. So it has a 4 KB of memory, and you all know about the bus. Bus is a group of wire which function as a communication channel. So it has 8 and 16-bit address bus and data bus, whereas your data bus is 8-bit buses, and address bus is 16-bit buses. And next you have an oscillator. So it is a the main function of the oscillator is to perform all timer and counter operations. And there are many types of interrupts, that is TF0, TF1, INT0, INT1, RINTI, whereas TF0 is your timer 0 overflow interrupt, and TF1 is your timer 1 overflow interrupt, and INT0 is external hardware interrupt, and INT1 is an external hardware interrupt, whereas RINTI are the serial communication interrupts. So next is your timer and control unit. The main function of timer is to make a delay, otherwise the time gap among the two events will be mismatched. So this is the main. Next is your register. So you have many general purpose register, So the microcontroller includes 8-bit register, whereas it performs 8-bit operation from D0 to D7, and here D0 to D7 is the significant bit, and D7 is the most significant bit. So the following are the general purpose register, which is represented in the left side of this block. So it has an accumulator. It is mainly used to execute all arithmetic and logical operation, and registers like B or 0 to R7, that is used for stronger instruction of address and data. And you have a data pointer, that is your DPTR. So it is used to allow and process data in a similar addressing mode. So next is your program counter. It is a 16-bit register used to store the next instruction address to be performed, which is similar to 8086. So these registers are 8-bit other than program counter and data pointer. And next is your data types. So the microcontroller include 8-bit data type, where the size of each register is 8-bit. So next is your PSW. PSW is something that programs status word, and it is one kind of register in the microcontroller. It is also said to be a flag register that is used to demonstrate the position of all arithmetic and logical operations such as 0 carry bit and carry bit. Okay, so here the PSW is your program status word or a flag register. It is an 8-bit register, and whereas these flags are said to be your conditional flags. So these conditional flags are overflow, parity, auxiliary carry and carry. These are the conditional flags. Next is your register bank. So for stacks and register bank, the RAM with 32 bytes is used, and these are separated into 4 types of banks. And next is your stack. So the part of RAM is like stack is mainly used through the process for data storage, otherwise the address is momentarily, and it is also an 8-bit byte. Next is your organization of memory. So that is something that the microcontroller has a complex memory organization. It includes a separate address base that is used for program memory, such as external RAM and data. So there are some compared with the 8086. So this is a elaborated blocks of 8051 microcontroller, which has been explained in detail now. So these points have been discussed. So here in the port 0 and port 2 pins in 8051 is a multiplexed address and data buses. So the memory organization is something in 8051 is about a program memory, and the data memories are separately, and the program memory is only read only type, and the data memory is read and write memory. Again, both program and data memories can be within chip or outside, and this is a memory organization of 8051. So this is a internal RAM structure. It has 128 bytes of internal RAM, which is used for accessible as bytes and bits. So the internal RAM at 00H and occupies a space of 7FH. So the RAM space is divided into 3 blocks such as register banks and bit addressable memory and scratchpad memory. And it has 4 register banks of 8 registers, each of 00H to 1FH, and it is addressed by the names of R0 and R0 to R7. So this is the internal RAM structure. In this internal RAM structure, the register banks are identified with 2 bits, the processor status word. So the PSW has 2 bits for identifying the register bank, which is represented as 00 for bank 0 and 01 for bank 1 and 10 for bank 2 and 11 for bank 3. So in 8051 the bitwise operations are all possible with a simple instruction using a bit addresses. So next is your similar to your 8086, there are 5 different addressing modes. One is your register addressing mode. Next is your register indirect addressing mode. Third one is your immediate addressing mode, and fourth one is your indexed addressing mode, and last one is your direct addressing mode. So let us see some few application of 8051 architecture. So it is mainly used in energy management. So that is calculating the energy consumption in domestic and industrial application. Next is touch screen. So it is touch sensing abilities in this design, and for example transportable devices, media players, gaming devices, it has been used. And the main important thing of 8051 microcontrollers, it is used widely in automobiles and medical devices, that medical instruments such as blood pressure monitors and glucose monitor systems. So these are the main application of 8051 microprocessor. I hope you all clearly understand about this topic, and if you have any clarification, kindly contact me. Thank you.